I'm going to paint Seascape on canvas today, and those are the brushes that I'm using, and the palette knives. Put those there. I'm going to be using cream that I mixed myself from white and yellow ochre. I'll be using acrylic paint, black, ultramarine, raw umber, burnt umber, and yellow and cerulean blue. So let's see if we can do a really, really nice painting today. Now, for me to get what I call a good painting, there has to be a lot of layers going on. So, and I mean a lot of layers. And each time I do a layer, I expose the colour underneath. So I'll just need to put on a very dark ultramarine blue mixed with black on the whole canvas. Okay. And I'll be right back. So I'm going to paint the whole painting. Let's see, which one shall I use? I'm just going to, I better work out what I'm going to do first, am I? Okay, well, I think going to be a bigger sky as usual, and I quite liked the thin layer of sea and a big beach, a big sky. Let's see. Let's do some layers of cliffs this time. And what else did I like? Yeah, let me just check on this painting that I did the other day. See what I did here. Oh yeah, I got it. Right, so we'll have the sea. Where shall we have the sea? We'll have the sea sort of coming in from there, sort of thing. Right, okay, so I'll put my marks in on here. Right, now before I start, I promised some people, let's have a look. Right, although I'm not painting on card today, I promised some people that I would show my card. It's thick card. It's got a smooth finish, which I absolutely love. It makes the paint, when you've got lots of layers, it makes the paint very waxy, which I like. I can't tell you the thickness, I have no clue. But that is, it's the thickness of, when you buy a really good quality birthday card, you know, not a cheap flimsy thing, a really good, you know, expensive one, and the card is stiff, it's that thickness of card. So there we are. And I've got various sizes, and I couldn't tell you where I got it because I got it wholesale a long, long time ago. Big, huge batch of it. So I'm sorry about that. But I've got different sizes. I've got 3 sizes. This is the biggest size. But if you look online, you could probably find a wholesaler that's going to sell, you know, that kind of thing. Right, let's get back to this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use the cerulean blue, as I always do, and some black, make it real dark. There. Go over that because I've made the marks where I want them to be. Right, I'll do this off camera because it's, you know what I'm doing. I might put some paint on with a palette knife, patchy like this. And then smooth it a little bit. Just so that I get it thicker. Let's try it. I love that. You use a lot of paint, but oh boy, that gets it nice and thick. I think I'll just use that thickness in the sky, to be honest. Anyway, I'll carry on with this and I'll come right back. I'll grab a coffee and I'll come right back. So I'm just laying out where I want everything to be. And it doesn't matter what colour you use. You could use sky blue paint with a yellow border. It doesn't matter. Because you'll be going over and over and over. To be an artist, it just takes a lot of practice. A lot of practice. You don't need expensive, fancy paints. You don't need expensive, top of the range canvases. You don't need specialized brushes. Look. I'll just show you that. That's all I need to say on that matter. And I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again for new people. One of my best paintings was when I lived in America, and I didn't have any supplies. Didn't have any art supplies, and I just thought, well, apart from a few paints. And I thought, oh, I'd like to paint something. So I took a cardboard box and I gave it many, many, many layers. By the time I'm finished with it, you wouldn't know the difference between the cardboard and a canvas. And it's still a favourite painting. Still a favourite painting. I love it all these years later, and I still like it. And I don't always like my paintings, I tell you. Other people do, but I think, could have done better with that one. Anyway, there we are. So that's your little story. True story. No, whatever you do, you don't need all this fancy stuff. Just get the basics. If you want canvas, just go and get an ordinary everyday canvas. These paints, and paints. Let's talk about paints. All right, you don't need fancy paints, really expensive, top of the range paints. It's nice if you want to get them and use them. They're very nice, they're nice quality. I've got some nice paints. I've got, well, what I call nice is Winsor & Newton and De La Rowney. But I've also got, which I buy all the time and love. Let me just get this in a second. I just want to make a sort of misty looking thing here. Let me just get this in a sec. We'll pretend that's a distant clip. So if we put some dark, by the time I got clouds in here, and if I put some dark in there, very dark, we'll have some cliffs. Anyway, let's just do that for now. I can go over it in a minute. This is just to outline. Oops. This is just to outline where everything is. Okay. Right, it's very dark at the moment, I know. What was I talking about? Paints. Right, Daler, yeah, I've got all that. Daler and Rowney. Daler Rowney, Winsor & Newton. And I love these. These are studio paints. Love them. Gorgeous colours. And very nice, thick, good thick paints. I think I get these from the range. But they probably sell these studio everywhere. And I like them and I use them. Of this.
So I start to put in what I call the first layer of undercloud, a very thin layer.
And the minute I start putting these gorgeousness in, it starts to come to life. There.
So I start to put in a little bit thicker cloud on top of that first layer. Just use thicker paint. So I just made a nice turquoisey pale blue. I just used cerulean and what else did I use? A bit of cream and just a little tiny bit of okay, a lilac, just tiny bit. And so I just used the cream to put in a little bit of surf. So I now start to add some sandy colours to that foreground. Just lots and lots of layers. So I'm just adding a bit of surf just to give it some atmosphere. I just used cream for that. So here I'm just splattering some different colours, some sandy colours and some black and some dark colours, dark brown, onto the sand, just to give it a nice natural look. And I'm just, when I've splattered, I then just gently touch it with my hands, just to splay it out a little bit. Mixed a nice light olive green to go on the top of those cliffs. So I just redefine that distant beach. And I bring down the cloud over the cliffs to give a misty look. So I start putting my little yachts in the far distance, and you probably realise I don't take much notice of the so-called experts that say you shouldn't have two of anything. You shouldn't have even numbers. But I don't care about that. I just do what I do. And I think they look extremely cute. So I continue to put in 2 yachts. So that's the end of the video. The only thing that I did was I lightened the colour of the sand with some sienna, with some burnt sienna and cream. Apart from that, that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, it would be really lovely if you would like, share and subscribe to my channel. The channel can be supported by super thanks. And with that, I'll say bye for now, and as always, love from Cornwall.